Living in an exponential age. Two ancient kings enjoyed playing chess, with the winner claiming a prize from the loser. After one match, the winner asked the loser to pay him by placing 1 grain of wheat on the first square of the chessboard, 2 on the second, 4 on the third, and so on, with the number doubling on each square until all 64 were filled. The losing king, thinking he was getting off easy, agreed with delight. It was the biggest mistake he ever made. He bankrupted his kingdom because of the number of grains of wheat he had promised was probably more than all of the wheat that has ever been harvested. This fictional story illustrates the concept of exponential growth, in which a quantity increases at a constant rate per unit of time, such as 2% a year. Exponential growth is deceptive. It starts off slowly, but after only a few doublings, it grows to enormous numbers because each doubling is more than the total of all earlier growth. Here's another example. Fold a piece of paper in half to double its thickness. If you could continue doubling the thickness of the paper 42 times, the stack would reach from the Earth to the Moon, 386,400 kilometers away. If you could double it 50 times, the folded paper would almost reach the Sun, which is 149 kilometers away. Between 1950 and 2004, the world's population increased exponentially, from 2.5 billion to 6.4 billion, and may increase to somewhere between 8 billion and 12 billion people by the end of this century. So if you look at this curve here, the diagram, 2.5, this is years ago, and you've got billions of people. And if you look here, black plagues there. At this point in time, this exponential growth is where they're trying to figure out it's going to end up finishing up. So global economic output. Some of it environmentally beneficial and some of it environmentally harmful, is a rough measure of the human use of Earth's resources. It has increased 7-fold since 1950 and is projected to continue increasing exponentially at a rapid rate. Despite a 22-fold increase in economic growth since 1900, almost 1 of every 2 people in the world try to survive on an income of less than $3 per day. Such poverty affects environmental quality because, to survive, many of the poor must deplete and degrade local forests, grasslands, soil, and wildlife. Biologists estimate that human activities are causing premature extinction of the Earth's species at an exponential rate of 0.1% to 1% a year, and irreversible loss of the Earth's great variety of life forms, or biodiversity. In various parts of the world, forests, grasslands, wetlands, and coral reefs continue to disappear or become degraded as the human ecological footprint continues to spread exponentially across the globe. There is a growing concern that exponential growth in human activities, such as burning fossil fuels and clearing forests, will change the Earth's climate during the century. This could ruin some areas for farming, shift water supplies, alter and reduce biodiversity, and disrupt economies in various parts of the world. Exponential growth plays a key role in 5 important and interconnected environmental issues: population growth, resource use and waste, poverty, loss of biological diversity, and global climate change. Great news, we have solutions to these problems that we could implement within a few decades, as you will learn in this book. Alone in space, alone in its life-supporting systems, powered by inconceivable energies, mediating them to us through the most delicate adjustments, wayward, unlikely, unpredictable, but nourishing, enlivening, and enriching in the largest degree. Is this not a precious home for us all? Is it not worth our love? And that's from Barbara Ward and Rene Dubois. So this chapter presents an overview of the environmental problems, their causes, controversies over their seriousness, and ways we can live more sustainably. It discusses these questions. What keeps us alive? What is the environmentally sustainable society? How fast is the human population increasing? What are economic growth, economic development, and globalization? What are the Earth's main types of resources, and how can they be depleted or degraded? And what are the principal types of pollution? What can we do about the pollution? What are the basic causes of today's environmental problems, and how are these causes connected? Is our current course sustainable, and what is environmentally sustainable development?